This is the GSG 1911, otherwise known as the SIG 1911-22. It is a 1911 chambered in .22 long rifle. Now, this pistol is not stock. It's got quite a few changes on it. Visually, pistol grips are different, or the grip panels, I should say, are different. They have the ones that come with it are fine to grip. However, this mag release is quite recessed, and it makes it difficult to press without having a channel here, at least for me. I have, I think, medium-sized hands. I use an MOE K2 on my rifles, so that is something I would recommend if you have small, especially if you have small hands, if you have medium hands. If not, I mean, you can. I use the standard grip panels for about a year before I change these out, but it is just definitely something I think it's worth doing. This also has upgraded sights. Now, these are I believe they're from GSG, the GSG 1911 sight kit, I believe is what it's called. And it comes with all of these sights. So this is a stock rear sight, it's plastic. The upgraded one is metal, and it can be adjusted for windage. And it also comes with, I believe, 5 different front sight posts, all of varying heights. So you can tune it and put whatever front sight you want on it for whatever distance you're shooting at. Or maybe you want suppressor height sights or something. These ones, the one I have on here, I have the lowest one that came in the package, and I'm shooting at roughly 20 yards. If you're picking this up and you're shooting at 20 yards, use the smallest one first and then work your way up if you need to. That's what I have with mine. Now, what I also have in this one, I bought this used a couple years ago, back when you could still buy handguns in Canada. And it came with the ZR Tactical upgrade kit. I believe it's the competition version. It means it has an upgraded guide rod spring, bushing. I think the thread adapter came with the upgrade kit, maybe not, and it came with an extractor. And they're all metal, whereas the bushing, I believe, on the stock one and the guide rod was plastic, so this should make it more reliable. In theory. And with being able to take this thread adapter, it makes it 1/2x28. Now in Canada, we can't have suppressors. Fucking sucks. But so do the vast majority of our laws here. If you're in most of Europe, I believe, or in the US, most of the US, you can get a suppressor, and I would highly recommend you get a suppressor with it. Now for mock-up, this is a fake suppressor. It is not a real suppressor that I had on my MRA Renegade. Now, I can't show you this, so I'm going to make a very small cut, because YouTube has recently changed their rules, and if I showed myself screwing this on, let me repeat, screwing on a thing, that's against the guidelines. So if I make a cut here and come back to this, that's totally fine. It's a mystery how this got put on the gun. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, this is what the pistol would look like with a suppressor. This one is just a Mach M4 suppressor. I don't know exactly what kind of model suppressor this is. And actually, the lowest sights here will clear the suppressor, so that's quite nice. Now, I'm going to take this off again, so I'll have to make another cut. Alright, I'm back. So, this will be the part where I show some of the shooting footage of the 1911. Now, most of the time, it will not jam. Um, and that's part of the problem with this gun, is that it's not always entirely reliable, as you're about to see with um, this magazine. Yeah, so what can happen is if the rounds in the magazine are not pointing a very specific direction, if you try and close the slide, it'll just like stovepipe. It's very annoying, and occasionally you will have magazines not, or not magazines, rounds not go off, and that's really just down to the ammo. You use really cheap ammo, you're going to get that sometimes. It's not really a problem with the gun. In fact, having the exposed hammer in this style is pretty good because you could just try and hit it again, and most of the time it'll go off with the second strike. Now, one of the problems, as you're seeing here with the magazine, and I'll show you at the table, is that because of the way the slide is constructed, the magazines will not drop free on an open, when the magazine is caught with the slide catch. It's a very strange problem, and I'll show it off when the shooting footage is done. Now, this part is the accuracy. So I'm not shooting this from a bench or anything like that, so there is absolutely tons of human error in this testing. This is not a scientific test. Now, it's 10 shots, which is what the magazine capacity is, from about 15 to 20 yards, something like that. Aiming at that bottom left-hand side there. As you can see, for 22 pistol, that's not bad. I think that's actually pretty decent. Now, to show what's actually going on with the magazine and the slide. So, pull the slide back, slide rest back, just like you fire your last round, your slide is locked back. Perfect, right? The problem is, your magazine is not dropping freely. To get it out, you have to pull back on this, which is quite annoying. However, watch that slide close, magazine drop freely. It took me a while to figure out what was going on, but I figured out what was going on. And that's because of this. Now, the pot metal, it's a bit better than pot metal, but not much. The slide is made of a pretty cheap metal, and so the slide catch has just chipped, so much so that it's actually created a new indentation, and it's gone too far forward, which means the mag is actually catching on the round follower. Now, the best way, before it hits the slide catch, so the best way to demonstrate how this is a problem, so say magazine is out, push the mag back in, and now it drops free on an open chamber. And the only thing that's changed, I'm going to push this slide back just a tiny bit, and that's the only thing that will have changed. And now it won't drop free. It is like half a millimeter. Like, that is so tiny. Half a millimeter where the slide has been messed up now, to the point where the only way to drop the mag free is to push down and let it drop, and then rack the slide again, or you're going to just have to force it out, which is quite annoying. And again, that's yet another reason why I would not recommend this for self-defense or for anything like that. This is purely a it's purely a range toy, so to speak. You use it for bringing out new shooters. It's a very easy platform. It's very comfortable, especially people with small hands, to get used to shooting a firearm. And especially if you manage to have a suppressor on it, it's quiet. I think it would be an excellent pistol for someone to plink around with and to introduce new shooters with. Even if the only reason you have one of these is to bring out your friends or family that haven't shot before, this is an excellent pistol to bring out to shoot. I know I've had success with bringing out one of my friends to shoot this, and he loved it. So definitely from that perspective, very, very, very good. Now, that's about it. That's basically the recommendation. Buy it for a range toy, buy it to introduce new shooters. Don't buy it for anything super serious or anything like that. Now, I will have a Glock 24 overview coming in the next, I don't know, let's say 3 days or so. I'm debating pushing it back a week because I do need more testing. But I might just make a short overview video of it. We'll see. You can check back to the channel or subscribe to make sure you don't miss that video. And as always, thank you for watching.